Hello everyone. Welcome all of you to the complete new series of Python projects. In this, we are going to see the Python projects. Use that in your day-to-day life. Okay, these are not just the dummy projects, but the projects that you are going to use in your day-to-day life. So let's get started with the first project for today. As you have already read the description, that is sticky notes. Now, if you don't know about sticky notes, I would first share my screen and what are the sticky notes. So let me just open one of the sticky notes. Yeah. So this is how a sticky notes look like. Basically, you can write your day-to-day task in this, what you want to do, like your notes. If you're taking a course, you can write the notes. Sticky notes means that the small notes that you see on your paper. So if I explain you, show you, this is like the example of sticky notes. Okay. Like these are the real sticky notes. These are the real sticky notes. But yeah, you can make this digital sticky notes as well. So we have made that app here. Okay. So now this is the app that comes built in with Windows. Okay, like where you can change the color here. Okay, you can delete the notes. So if I want green color, I can make it green and many other small stuff we can do. So same thing I tried to do. So see, this is how my sticky notes look like. So in that you can add a notes title. Okay, you can add anything, whatever you want inside this. You can remove everything. You can write whatever you want to write. More interestingly, I added the thing to change the color. So for example, I can highlight this and I want this to be blue colored. I want Akash to be green colored. So I can do that. Along with that, I can change the appearance of it like white on black. So complete theme is black now, or I can make it orange. So that also looks good. Okay. One more interesting thing I added here, like if you have a very big Akash, you said that we can use it to take notes. Let's say we are taking a very big course. See that automatically scroll bar is added here. So that also you are going to see with me today. Then if you want to save this, so I would write A and I would click on save. So see notes added. And see right now there is no A here. The moment I click on OK, you see A is added. Okay, you can read any of your notes. See, this is something which I have tried, okay, like for 5 days to see that whether I can replace my old sticky notes. And trust me, when you make your own application, it would give you more happiness to use that. Even before, I'd never used sticky notes, but the moment I created it, I started using that. So I tried to get this from various sources of internet and made this complete stuff for me. And I'm going to teach you everything in detail. Same way you can add multiple. So for example, I replace this with B, click on save and see B is also added. One more interesting functionality, like if I keep adding the notes, then what would happen, Akash? See, again, you got a new scroll bar there. Okay, that has ABCD here. See, so that also you can add. Now you can delete this also. I can click on C and I can click on delete notes. Okay, so you can see that the button animation, like it goes inside. Then after that, it says notes is deleted. Click on OK, C is deleted. See, that is also in real time. Same way, I can delete this. Click on A, click on delete notes. OK is deleted. B, delete notes, deleted. D, delete notes, and it's deleted. So in this way, it works. Okay, just comment me before writing, before starting each and every line. Tell me whether this feels you exciting or not. If yes, let's get started dancing with me. I would just minimize this and I would close this because we don't need this anymore. And let's get started. So first of all, we will start with tkinter. Tkinter is a library to make GUI, that is called as graphical user interface. Graphical user interface. Now, what do you mean by graphical user interface? Graphical user interface means, for example, if I open up the calculator, see, everything is here in forms of buttons and you don't need to write the code. That is called as graphical user interface. So exactly our notepad was also I was saying our sticky notes also was in the same way. So let's create this. Let's get started with this now. And I would close this calculator. So first we imported tkinter. Now after this, we need to make a window here. So for example, what do you mean by window? See this is my tkinter window. Let me open up my pen. So see this, my tkinter window, basically this is the length of it and this is the height of it. So we need to define this big window. We need to define what would be the size of this. We need to define this text box size. We need to define this buttons. We need to define a scroll bar here, a scroll bar here. Okay, the notes title here. And most interestingly, in this first video, we are going to make this menus. Okay, so let's get started. So first we will make a window. I have already kept this code ready so that we can save time in typing it, but everything line by line I'm going to explain you. So see, these are the first 4 lines you would always need in any tkinter window. So first of all, I'm saying that I want to create an object of tkinter that is called as this main window, where we are going to do everything. Then you need to define the geometry, which means the size. So 1350 is this length and 700 is the height. You can try with different sizes. Then main window dot title, what title you want to give. So I'm saying that it should be try, notes, and then sticky. And then after that, this window should stay till I press the cross. So this main window loop, to run it in the infinite loop till I close this. So I can run this now, and 4 lines I have explained you. So if I run this, I need to run this tkinter. Yes. Now see that the tkinter window is created. Try sticky. You can see that here. Okay. Now if I change the size of it, let's say I make it 50. And if I run this once again, you see that the size is very small in the length. It's like reduced. So you need to pay attention to this small stuff. Now everything that you would make inside this, between this code. So let's get started for the first code now. Let's make it back again to 1350. So that size is good for us. Now the next part is, first we need to make the menu here. Okay, so this is the code to make a menu bar. Now again, don't get confused. Line by line, I'm going to explain you. The first thing that you see here is the menu bar. This is the variable. Okay, and you see here, this is the menu that we import from tkinter. So it would create a menu on main window. The first and the foremost thing you need to explain tkinter that where you want to make a menu. So I'm saying that I want a menu on main window. So this is the main window, which we defined just a minute before. You see that this 3 lines of code says the main window. Then we add a menu on top of it. So this would be our menu. Inside this menu, I want one more menu now. See, so I created one menu here. The name for that is menu bar. Let's write it. So name for this is menu bar. This is just the bar that would consist of multiple menus. So in the same way, like I defined menu bar, I defined a appear menu bar. Okay. So there would be a small bar here, which is placed on menu bar. See, it is not main window now. I want this menu on top of menu bar. So this menu is here. The name of that would be appear. And then I say here menu bar, that is this menu bar dot add cascade. Now cascade means that, see, if you have noticed, there was a drop down. So if I open up my app, there is a drop down here. See, you see this drop down. Okay. So this drop down is basically called as cascade. So I'm adding that cascade here. Okay. And the name for that, the name would be appear, which we have given here. You can write any name what you want, and it should be on top of this menu that is appear. That menu appear. So in this menu bar, we are adding a cascade, and that cascade would be there on this appear menu. That cascade would be there on this appear menu. Now just appear dot, because the name of this is appear. Now appear dot add command, whatever command you want. So I want white on black and black on orange. Okay, so this labels you can define. So see that I have defined that labels here, white on black and black on orange. You can define any labels that you want. So in this way, it would add a menu. Now see, this is acting like a button. Okay, so like I was explaining you this to add this menu bar. Now remember, every time this is like a button. See, white on black, so it would make a black color. Orange, black on orange, so it would make a orange color. So whenever you add a button, you need to add that, okay, if this button is pressed, what should be we will be doing? What step we should take? So for that, we need to define a function with the same name, white on black and all that. So let's define that. So to define the function, you know that simple Python def, and I would write the name dot pass. Same thing, def, another name that is black on orange. Okay, and round brackets and pass. That's it. Okay, the moment you run this, and now after adding the commands also, you need to do one more thing, that is you need to configure this. So for that, there is main window dot configure menu bar. So you say that there is one menu bar on top of your main window. That's it. When I run this now, see this, we got appear here. Okay, see this, we got appear here. And this appear basically has exactly what we want. But nothing would happen now because we have just written here past, so nothing would happen. So this is all about how you create one menu. Now, if you have understood this, write in comments, okay, that how to create another menu. See, if you pay attention, there is one more menu that is text color. And trust me, it is exactly same, similar. This 4 lines of code you need to write now. Okay. So again, now, like you have appear, you would have on the same main window one more thing, that is the text color. Okay. And to write that text color, you would add that again 4 lines here, and that 4 lines are this one. Menu bar is done, text color, yes. So now see, like you have this menu bar, I have this text color. Again, that is pressed on the menu bar, which is there, our initial big menu. See, let's go back. So on this menu bar, we have the text color. Then menu bar dot add cascade, in the same way we want to add here color, then blue color, green color. If I run this, see, it would exactly work, but we need to add these 2 methods also, blue color and green color methods. Just remember that, else it would throw an error. Okay, now if I run this, you would see text color is also there. Okay, and inside that there is blue and green. So yes, this text color, as you can see, blue, green here. Okay, so you can add one more label here. Let's say one more label I add, that is check. You would understand how simple it is, and that check command would be added automatically here. So this is all about your first part, and the next thing we are going to see now is creating this, that is the text bar here, where we can write all the stuff. Okay, this labels, writing area, there's buttons. So first let's get started and let's do this. Okay, now the next part of it that comes directly here is this one, that we need to add a text frame here. I would explain you what is this frame. Let's take it step by step. So now it's time for us to create a frame. So this is what called as frame. Frame again is like just creating that this is my frame, like that, where we would put elements on it. So for example, we want to put the label, like the writing area. Okay, we want to put this text box where we are going to write the stuff, the button, all that thing we are going to put it in a frame. So frame means just a cutout area, a section on it where we are going to place the stuff. So my frame would be there on my main window, the place where it starts. So x equals to 320 means, so see, this is your complete 1350. X 320 would be somewhere here, like from here 320 distance away. Okay, and y 80 means from top it would be 80 distance away. Okay, and from this it would start making a frame basically, and the width and the height, like what should be the width and height, is this in the percentage. So this is relative width and relative height. Then I have written here note style, that is the label I want to give. If you have seen that there is writing area written there. So now this writing area is a label. Label means we cannot write inside it. It is just the label for it, and it should be kept inside a frame. So that frame is written. The font of it, what should be the size? It should look bold. This BD is the border width, like how beautiful it should look. And this relief equals to groove is basically to make it more beautiful. Okay, and then dot pack is every time required, or dot place is required. Dot place gives the exact position where we want to put it. Dot pack would just completely pack that in the x-axis and y-axis, like that. So basically pack means that wherever the area is at that place, just put it. So we will not mention the area there. Just we need to mention that, okay, you need to put it on my frame. I would show and I would explain you this more detail. See, my writing area has came here. You can clearly see that. Now, see, like I said you, this relief equals to groove is to make this look beautiful. See how 3D it is looking, like the writing area is gone inside and it is looking little bit 3D. Okay, now if I close this and if I remove this relief equals to groove, you would see the exact difference. Now when I run this, you can see that it's now normal. No border width is there. No, it is looking like a 3D. So it's looking like a normal. And let's go back again because we want to look it better. If we don't use pack, which means that we have not said that to be placed anywhere. So the pack is very much important. See that writing area did not came. So you need to write at least place, grid or pack, something you need to mention. I would explain you in detail what is this pack also. Okay. and this place also and grid also, like the difference in all three of them. But for now, this pack is used to just place your element on the frame. So we have given the label. Now we need to give a scroll bar also to our frame. If you have seen that there would be a scroll bar here. See this scroll bar. So I want to add that scroll bar. Now for that, what we are going to do, we are going to add a scroll bar like this. Just a second. Yeah, so this is how my scroll bar looks. Now see scroll bar Y, because we want on the Y axis, we need to import the scroll bar from tkinter. Where I want to place it on the frame. Orient means I want a horizontal scroll bar like this. For example, like you can see this, or I want a vertical, which means up and down. So for that, next again dot pack method. Pack method means that where you want to pack it. Again, this time I want to pack it on the right side of my frame and on the Y axis. So fill Y, fill equals to Y. Then I have written here text. So after that, what I need after putting this scroll bar, see if I run this scroll bar, I don't need this head. Let's remove this text frame for now. If I run this, you would see that the scroll bar is added here. Okay, so this task is done. Now we need to add a text frame here where we can actually write our notes. So for example, this writing, this orange color area, we need to add that. So let's add it. Text equals to frame. Now see, I have said that I want the text and put it on the frame. Now this text bar, I have correlated it with the scroll bar. So this command, Y scroll command, which means that it is set along the text frame. What does that mean? See that. So if my text is not big, see there is no scroll bar. But the moment my text becomes big, so there automatically scroll bar is adjusted. See the size of it. Now it is a big brown box. If I keep writing it, it would be going smaller and smaller. See that? So exactly that, for that we need to set it, and we have set it according to the text frame. Then this width and height are not required. So let's remove this. The font of it. So whatever you write inside that, what font should be there and what would be the size of it. So the moment I run this, see, this will again not run because we have still not entered the pack. Remember, we are saying that we want to enter it, but every time we need to write pack or at least place there so that it knows where we need to put all this stuff. So for that, I would use a pack method here, and one more config command I require. So I would write that. So txt.pack. So it would pack the values. Let's remove this for now. Let's remove this for now and let's see the difference. Okay, so I have run this and you can see that my text area has came here. I can write inside this. If you want to increase this font, you can increase this by changing the values here. Instead of 32, write it 48. You would see the difference. And if I remove this from the pack, see once again now. So if I take it here, you can see that the size is already increased from 32. It is went to 48. So you can decide that size. Then Y scroll, I have configured it to the command text view. Like I said, you according to the view, okay, it would add the scroll bar and it would set the width of it. So these commands are required to keep your scroll bar along with the text frame. So this was the first thing and we got this ready now. So if I run this perfectly, you would see that everything up till now is working very much fine. So if you have liked the video up till now, pause the video here, code this stuff, okay? Code exactly this stuff. So you can take a screenshot of it and right now code it everyone, or pause the video here and code up till now and then move forward. See that you are able to reach till this place or not. The complete GitHub code would be also mentioned in the link section, but don't copy paste it, write it. You would understand it better. Okay. Now, after adding this, we need to add 2-3 steps more also here. Let's add that. Now I'm taking here one container is required. This is a little bit of hard step. So from overview, I would explain you this. Okay. This is a little bit hard for the beginners. I would explain you more in detail. So in short, I would explain you. Now, actually what I want that this button should be there. And here also there is, you can see a scroll bar is there. The only difference here is that these buttons are added in real time. What does that mean? Which means that if I change the notes here and if I click on save, then it would be added here. So this is little tough to do, but you would enjoy that. I would explain you line by line. So I said that frame container now. Again, frame main window. I'm creating one more frame. See, this was one of the frame. This is our main window. This was one of the frame. And now I'm creating one frame here. Now I said that there is canvas. Now what is the use of canvas? Canvas is majorly used to draw the drawings like circle, triangle, rectangle, boxes and all that. But right now I want to add here the buttons dynamically. So that you cannot do inside a text box, and adding a scroll bar just to the frame is very difficult. Okay. So that is the reason I needed to add here the canvas, because there is no text box here, no one can write inside this. So this is the scroll bar. Here we will have a scroll bar, so for that we require this canvas. Now I said canvas should be there inside the frame container. See, this is my frame container. Inside that, canvas should be there. The width and height of the canvas is given. You can play along with that, it is not much difficult. Now see, in my canvas, so inside this I added a canvas here. This is my canvas. And inside this canvas, I added one more frame. Now, Akash, why so much? Because you cannot add a scroll bar on frame. A scroll bar you cannot add on frame. So I would add a scroll bar on canvas. Okay, I would add a scroll bar on canvas, because see, I would explain you this. Now see, I added a frame to here. Let's remove this and once again draw this. We have this main window. This was our initial frame, so forget about that now. This is the real frame, we are working on it. That is frame container. Inside this there is a canvas, so this is our canvas. Okay, now inside this canvas we have one more frame, that is frame 2. Now what I said, add a scroll bar in frame container. Okay, this is on my top. I want a scroll bar here, but see, orient is vertical. This I already explained you exactly same. Now see, the command is canvas container.yview. This we cannot add in frame. For this we require the canvas. So that is the reason I added a canvas here, y view, which means that as the buttons grow more, okay, more and more people add here the commands, we need this y view. Then in canvas, we created a small window. This is used to draw the drawings. But right now we just kept an empty frame on top of this. And inside this frame, you would exactly get, inside this frame, you would exactly get these buttons, the buttons that you see here. That is the reason there is a lot of space also here and all that stuff. Okay, we can improve this in later version, but right now this is the stuff. Okay, let's run this, the canvas frame. And again, you need to pack the canvas container. See, we have not packed this canvas container, so nothing can see. So we will pack this canvas container and the scroll bar also, and the frame container also. So these 3 things we will put here. See, we need to put here the canvas container, this one. Okay, we need to put here the scroll bar also where I want. So scroll bar I want to pack on the right side in the container. Okay, because I have already mentioned the frame container, and where I want the frame container, that also I have mentioned here. So if I run this, you would see the magic happening there. I run that and let me show you how it is looking like. You can see a scroll bar is already there. So this is really a tough. I got a lot of time to code this. If you really like that, again comment it and try this. Okay, this is really difficult, but try this, you would understand it one by one. Okay, so this was all about creating your stuff. Now it's time to see the next part of it. That is how we can add the buttons here, the save button, the color changing buttons, everything we are going to see step by step. So this is the thing that we have covered in the 2 sessions. If you have not seen that, just have a look. So this is how we create a writing area here, and we would have here the menu and all that look up here good here. Okay, so this is all we have done. We have added a text bar here where we can write. We have added a scroll bar, both the scroll bars here, and that is the stuff. Now it's time to add the next part of it. The thing that is remaining right now is this one, the notes title and all that. So that is very pretty quick. We can add that using very simple 3 to 4 lines, and this 2 buttons also. So this is the code for that. So see, I have already separated the code for you using this hash. So you can understand for each section you have different hashes. Okay, now see, this remaining next 2 part, okay, is also very pretty straightforward. Here we add a note title, that is the label. So if you have paid attention, there is a title there, this note title that you see. Okay, so that title I have added here, the width of it, the border of it, what font we want, and all that stuff. Okay, then the next thing is in this, the entry box, where the user would enter the title. Okay, where the user would enter the title. So for example, this one where I can enter the title name, the notes name. So we can add that also here very quickly. Using entry, again same main window like we had the old entry, it is exactly the same. Okay, now after that we can add the width, the font of it, what we want, the size of it, and everything else remains the same. Place already overview I have given to you, what is the width, height, You can change that width, height. You can see that if I remove this 4, let's run this, and it says create notes is not defined. Yeah, so we have added 2 buttons here. Okay, 2 buttons are also added. Let's remove this button code for now, so that first I would explain you the notes part. Okay, as you can see that this note title and the width of this box and the placement I have made here using X and Y, you need to try this multiple stuff here and you would get the perfect place. Okay, so this we have done. Now it's time to add the 2 buttons. Okay, the buttons that you see here, that is the save button and the delete notes button. So save button, again, button is the function for that main window where we want to keep it, and the text that we want to write on it, the width, the font and all that. The most interesting thing here is we can write here the command. Okay, the most interesting thing here is we can write the command. So I have written here the command as create notes, and the background color for that is pink. Okay, and the placement of it. So create notes, we would create a function for it again in the same way like we have created this functions. We will create one more functions for that, and same way for delete note. So in this way we have created 2 buttons, save and delete notes. Now how to put that? So for that already I have created the functions for you, so I would just show you that and I would explain you each and every functions also this to you. So first let's add this create notes function and the delete notes function. So this is the code for it. Create notes, I would explain you. Delete notes, this read dictionary, and save dictionary, I would explain you what are this all. But first run this. See that we got the 2 buttons in yellow and pink. If you want to change the color, you just need to change here for pink. Let's say I want green. So I would write here green. That's it. Run it once again and you see the green button. It is as simple. So I'm explaining you line by line so you can make the changes and you can create your own note, sticky notes as well. Then after doing this, let's understand what are these functions now. So what I used here majorly in all the Python codes that you see on internet, they all are using SQL database, but we are not using SQL database. I made it completely on Python. So these are Python codes. If you read this, you would understand it, a good Python person. Okay. Now, if you don't understand it, I am explaining you here line by line again. This note title entry dot get. Now see this, what is this note title entry? This is what we have created here, note title entry. You can see that where the user would enter the name. So for example, user wants to see this projects to be done. Okay, or he has given some name here. Let's say I have given here Akash. So now when I use dot get function, okay, it would get that Akash, notes title would get Akash, and then this text dot get. Now what does this text dot get means? Understand here. So this text dot get, basically this text is where we are writing the notes. So see that the text you would see here. See this text, this is a text frame, okay, where we are going to write all the stuff. Basically this orange area that you see here. So that is called as txt text. So I'm writing again in that get, but I'm saying that start from first. 10 means that start from first character. That is first line. 10 means first line, and 0 means the 0th character. Start from the 0th character. Okay, then it says that go till the end. Whatever Akash has written, take everything that, but whenever you use like this, there is slash and always in the end. So this is also considered as 1 character. So we say end minus 1 character, which means that go till the end, but don't add this slash in. So for that, this is there. So basically, we would get the notes title the moment someone click on the save. See, the moment a person click on the save, this create notes would be called, because this is a command in save button. See, this is the save button. And this create notes would be called. In that, we are taking 2 things that is required. That is this title we are taking, and whatever is the text inside this, we are taking that. The moment we got this text, we are checking if the length is less than 0. If it is that, then see we have got here message box. So we would get an error message that bro enter the details. So for example, I would show you. See, if I don't write anything in title, that is a blank title, and click on save, it says that, just a second, this also needs to be empty for it. See, enter details. So this is what I was saying you, that you need to enter details here, else you would get an error. In title also we can write it. See, right now we got a blank title, so we can write it easily, but this is called as error message. Okay, like you normally see. So I've written a simple if condition. You can understand it. Very simple it is. If the length is less than 1, then definitely we need to give a message that enter details, brother. Else, now I'm using a CSV here to store the data. I would open a CSV file and write all my data inside it. That's it. Then I use here update function. Now what is this update function? I would explain you. But in the same way, there is same delete notes as well. Try to read this. I'm very much sure if you read this, you would understand each and every line. Comment in the section if you don't understand it. I would create a separate video for that. But I want everyone should give a try to it. Same way, read data.csv. In this, I open the CSV file, okay, and read every title and the text. So what I'm doing, understand here. This is my CSV file. CSV means comma separated, like you have seen the Excel file. In that, this is my title, and this here are my notes. So titles are stored here, and all the notes what you write would be stored here. In this read data CSV, I am reading this CSV file and storing that as a dictionary. You know Python dictionary. If not, you can watch the videos of Python first and then come to this video. And same way, then saving the CSV file. Okay, so I am first converting that dictionary to a data frame and then storing back to the data.csv. So no databases, use just a simple and plain Python. This is really very cool. So in this way, you can save this 4 functions. Now, this was a pretty much about, we have understood a lot of things here. The last thing that is left is to write this, how to change the colors. This I'm going to explain you. Okay. And then what is this update function? Basically, this update function is really very important. Why important? Because see, the buttons that are going to add here. So for example, I write here A. If I write something and I save it, they are added on the real time. You don't need to close this application and you got the A button. So for that, this update function is there, which is going to update this. So we have already seen how to make this, like basically everything we have done from this. So for example, how to create this, the frame. Okay, what part we have covered, just let me tell you that. So we have covered this, how to make this frame, how to add a scroll bar, this, how to add a scroll bar, this, how to give this label, how to give this label, this entry point, how to give that. Okay, then there's 2 menus, how to write it. Then this buttons, we have understood how to connect this button and really save your data in CSV. We have seen that. Only part is left, how to add this dynamically buttons here. And what we can do, that we press this button and all the things comes up. So this all projects you are going to learn with me. This is just the first video. Everything you are going to learn with me like this. So now, first of all, how to do that. So it is very short video. Let's see that. I would go back down. So this frame and all that, I have already explained you how to create a container, canvas, scroll bar. This is done. Just remember this highlighted piece of code, which I have explained you. This exact same code we are going to use below. Okay. Because on this container only, we need to add the buttons there. So let's see that. And for that, I have created this function is not required here. Now, these 2 things I'm going to explain you, this notes and this update function. This update function, already you know this part, okay, that we have created a frame converter, frame container. If you have not understood this, watch the second video once again. In detail, I have explained you there. The complete playlist link would be there in the comment section. Now, this is your frame window. Okay, inside that we create a canvas container. And on top of this, we would create one more frame, and then you would have a scroll bar there. So this part remains exactly the same, which means that the moment we get a new entry, if someone enters a new title, this frame would be once again created using this code. And in this code, then I read our data from the dictionary. Remember, I explained you in the previous video that from CSV, we are converting a data to dictionary, and then we are reading the titles for it. Like, what are my titles? So my titles are this: title 7/6/2023, projects to be done, to do this, or all are the titles. So I'm reading that all the titles here. Then I'm creating a button in a for loop here. So this button, so if you have 10 titles, this would create 10 buttons. Okay. And that 10 buttons would be on frame 2. This inside is the frame 2. Inside this, you would have 1 button. If you have 10 buttons, you would have 10 buttons. The title of that button would be taken from your data file, the width of it and the font. Now see, pack, I already said you that we need to pack everything there. B.bind, which means that the moment you click on that button, see, every button would have different commands. So that is the reason I didn't use command here, but I used a bind method here. And in this bind method, I said that the button 1, whatever the button is, and it would be bounded to the notes function. We will see what is that note function. Okay. So this is how we will update the frame 2. Okay. And in canvas container, we need to add a scrolling also. So this scroll bar is to set the region for that scroll bar and the height for it. Okay, so this small things would be very difficult right now to understand. So this is just like, you can say, a template code. You can keep in your mind that if you want to add a scroll bar, you need to set a region for it, the height for it. So that's we have stored in the canvas container. We have configured it. That is the reason we require here canvas container, because we cannot configure that on the frame. We can configure this on the text box, but text box is not required. We need to add the buttons. That is the reason canvas container is there. Then let's see the note function. If a person clicks on this button, so if a person click on this button, let's say titles, so this should come up. How this is coming up, let's see that. So in notes, what I have done, I would just take whatever the user has pressed the button. For that, text would be stored in the key. So for example, if I'm clicking this button titles, so titles would be stored in a key variable. Then if there is some original text on this screen, that I'm removing that text. So for example, this is my blank. So if I click on titles, the old text would be deleted. This is for that. Then I read my dictionary and then I say that this is my key. Remember how was my data stored? So this was my CSV file. Here I have the titles and here I had the notes. So now in titles, I have the key. So I'm storing that in a dictionary format where titles are my key and notes are my values. So now when I provide the title to it, okay, I would get some data there. So using set text function, I'm doing that. See what is the set text function. Very simple and easy. This func tools we don't require. Yeah. So see, in set tells, I just delete everything and I insert the text inside that. So dot insert function is in this box, whatever you want to insert. So what I'm inserting in this, I'm inserting the text. From where I get the text, basically the notes function, okay, from our dictionary, we will get the text. Okay, from this dictionary, we will get the text. So sorry, this set text is used to set this text. See, if I show you once again, this notes titles, see that also changes. If I click on, let's say projects to be done, that would be entered here in the notes title. So this set text function is used to set the notes title. You can see that notes title I am setting with that. And this normal text function is used to set whatever is there in my dictionary. So remember, I explained you dictionary. In that, you just provide the key name and you would get the value. And that value I am inserting in my text. So this is how you can set the text. So everything we have understood now. The last thing that is left, okay, is how I'm changing the colors. And that is also pretty straightforward. So in this function, white on black. So I said my foreground current is white. Foreground means the text color, that is white, and BG means background color, that is black. Then I call this change appearance function. So in this change appearance function, I just change the text background to the color background, and text foreground, I set it to color foreground. So in that simple way, easily you can do it. So this text is our entry box. I have already explained you this. See, the text is our entry box. Then after that, same way, the text color, if I want to change that, in the same way I have done it. Now in this, I added select dot first, which means that whatever thing I would select. So for example, I'm selecting Python. So this selection, select first and select last. This foreground color, I'm changing using this tag dot configure. Okay, so now if I open that once again, and if I select this and I click on blue, so see that only that part would be colored to blue. So in this way, select dot first, you can give the starting point of your selection and the ending point of your selection. That's it. And inside that, whatever color you want to configure, you can configure that. So this is your complete playlist and everything which I have explained you step by step. Now, interestingly, yes, so I was showing you like this. So I have created here using this. So you can see that in this dist folder, I have created a exe file here. See, application file, which means that I can run this. If I show you the properties, you would see that it is a exe file. So not only I created a IPython notebook, but a .exe file. Now, if you completely like this project, if you have seen all the 4 videos, okay, do comment in the section and I would explain you how to just in 5 minutes, how you can convert that into exe file. This is a very huge file, 2.58 GB. So really interesting. We made such a big app. Okay, I will see you in the next video. If you want this videos more, just keep on commenting, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Have a smiling day, everyone. We will see in the next project now. See you soon.